everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Web.Files. I'm Kristyn Burtt. Now, who knew it was good for business to be both a vampire and a hitman all at the same time? That's the premise of Vampire Mob, which is premiering tonight at the Ruskin Theater in Santa Monica. We're chomping at the bit to get on that red carpet. Check it out.
We are all famous to a few people.
This whole thing is your fault.
Oh, how's it my fault?
You bit me.
Man, I didn't even want Annie like this. Then I got hungry. I love you, and if I'm gonna live forever, I wanted to be with you.
You were so foolish.
I thought it would be good for our marriage. I could relax because there'd be more wives. They wouldn't live forever.
So if I'm gonna live forever, I want my mother to live forever, so I can complain about Don.
You what? No, you bitter? Now I got a wife and a mother-in-law that are gonna live with me for eternity.
All right. Now, I know you rehearsed your 10 words or less, didn't you?
I did.
Yep. So let's see if you can do it in 7 words or less. Go.
Is mother-in-law one word?
Why don't you go MIL and then that? Yeah. Right?
Vampire Hitman's MIL is moving in for eternity.
That was like 9. That's all right.
So close.
Right. No, congratulations. I know this has been about a year in sort of writing and planning and production. How does it feel?
It feels great. I mean, I'm amazed that it all came together. It was a lot of people doing a lot of things, not knowing they were all doing it, and all of it came together, and now we're going to show it to people.
No, your idea, you were a private investigator? How did this all come about?
I was working as an investigator, investigating intellectual property, and I was investigating something that was mob-related, a term, and I joked that, hey, the Johnny Depp movie was out, the Dillinger movie, and the vampire thing's like, where's the Vampire Mob thing? And I was like, vampiremob.com, available, click.
You have a great cast. I mean,
crazy great cast.
Marsha Wallace? How did you get Marsha Wallace?
Marsha Wallace, I acted with her in a pilot presentation thing at the Improv like 10 years ago, and we have mutual friends, and when I was writing this, I'm like, Marsha Wallace would be perfect. So it was one of those like writing things where you're like, okay, Marsha Wallace is saying this, Marsha Wallace. And then I'm like, okay, I have this all written, maybe Marsha Wallace should say this. And went to her and she was like, you know, I really like this idea.
Oh, she does.
And she was like, yeah, all right, I'll do it. And then Kirsten Vangness from Criminal Minds was pals with John Colella and Reamy Hall. And we had met at a party and they ran the idea and she was like, that'll be great. That sounds fun. And Chris Mulkey, I know from here. And I said, you want to sell blood in a castle in the hills? If somebody gives you a castle, you shoot in a castle.
All right, 6 episodes you're looking at.
6
and now I
episodes
hear
done.
that you're going to do it in a unique way.
Yes, we have a little view ransom plan.
Yes.
What will happen is episode 1 will go up. When the view ransom is hit, the next episode comes out. So there's no schedule.
Joe, well, congratulations.
Thanks
We're really
very much.
excited to see more of Vampire Mob.
Me too.
Gotta love mixing business with grocery shopping.
Joe has come up with some really great twists on, you know, a typical vampire and hitman. How he put those together and then came up with the stuff that he did is just brilliant. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, how amazing was it to work with Joe Wilson? His mind is so creative, and his one-liners, especially some that you have, are hilarious.
Yeah.
We don't bite people because we're not animals.
I just trust him so much, and he just really, he takes great care of me. He just gives me great dialogue. It's wonderful.
You know, maybe you wanted to talk to me before you decided to bite her.
Did you ask before you bit me?
No.
You were saying?
So what was it like working with Joe?
Joe was awesome because I actually had quite a few suggestions and he took them, so that was cool.
That is good.
Yeah, I had some ideas, like first when I was asking character questions, some of the things that I brought up to him, then when he did a rewrite on the script, I'm like, and those are those answers. All right, cool. So yeah, so he definitely, it was a collaboration with everyone. Like if you had an idea, he's like, give it to me, what is it? And then we would try it and then we'd go from there. So he's really easy to work with.
Tell me what it was like to work with Marsha Wallace.
She's a hoot. Oh man, every time like we would do a scene, I was like, please cut, because I'm gonna start laughing because she was cracking me up. It was the same thing with Kirsten Vangness. I was like, I cannot keep a straight face with these two. So I can't wait for season 2 for the 3 of us to do a scene together. That's gonna be good.
You guys, you're gonna have to go through a lot of tape
Oh,
that
yeah.
afternoon. Elizabeth, you play Don's chiropractor.
Well, my dad's name was Harry, and my middle name's Harriet, so everybody always just calls me Harry.
Now, why does a vampire hitman need a chiropractor.
All that stress? Are you kidding me? A vampire is stressful enough, but to throw a hitman into it, I mean, you're gonna need some adjustments.
All right, tell us what it was like to work on Vampire Mob and work with Joe and the crew.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. Everybody was so fun and professional and hilarious. And I've known Joe for years from doing stand-up comedy. And he calls me and he was like, "I've got this idea. It's like it's a hitman. And he's a vampire." And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm in. Can we start right now, please?" My only regret is that I'm not a vampire. I'm hoping if there's a season 2, someone will bite me.
And then
because I really want to go to the dark side, like seriously.
So, Chris, you play Cadillac Frank.
Cadillac Frank.
Yeah, now I've seen some episodes. You haven't made an appearance yet, but I hear that Cadillac Frank is based on a real-life mobster.
Yeah, he's based on a Boston mobster.
Tell us what it was like to work with Joe Wilson.
Who?
Exactly.
Joe. Oh yeah, Joe Wilson. He was actually no. It was a great experience. But you know, when you do kind of a webisode thing, and this is new media, and you're not really sure how things are going to go, but Joe was great. He very professional and good writer, and it was a good experience.
John, so you were assistant director on this. You know all of the dirt, all of the scoop. Give us some.
It was a pretty clean. What kind of a shoot do you think this was? It was a pretty clean shoot, actually. There was no drama or anything like that.
Nothing. Oh, wait a minute.
If there was, I'm not saying.
Give some dirt on Joe.
He's a real jerk. I just, no, I've known Joe for a few years now. He's a good guy. He's outside normal life. He's a pretty angry critter.
Yeah.
But on the set, it's like he's really in love with what he's doing. I think he really found what he needed to do with making movies and writing.
Since vampires only drink blood, what would be the one food you would miss?
I would probably, lately, I guess pizza.
My mom's meatballs.
Hot fudge sundaes.
Chocolate.
Cheese.
Anything that had a parent. Steak, chicken, anything that had hopes and dreams. That's what I would miss the most.
You're a big carnivore. I love it.
Yeah, good stuff.
Okay, so we have pizza, we've got meatballs, we've got a whole bunch of carnivores, and a lot of chocolate. It's tough to be a vampire. I'm so glad we were able to take a bite out of this red carpet. This episode of the Web Files is now closed. I'm Kristyn Burtt. We'll see you next time.